Hi, my name is Yona. I'm the after-school leader at Field Teen Center, and today I'm going to talk about Homeland by Corey Doctorow, which is the sequel to Little Brother, which I have previously enjoyed and book talked. There will probably be some minor spoilers for Little Brother as I'm talking about this book, because Homeland builds on some of the same themes and characters that Little Brother does. That said, I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to talk about it. I listened to Homeland as an audiobook through Libby. I often do. I like audiobooks. This one was not my favorite. There's a character mispronunciation. Holu, which is short for Jose Luis, is pronounced Jolu in the audiobook. So if that would bother you, also, you might want to check out the ebook. I did enjoy the audiobook otherwise, though. I think he was a really effective reader. So let's talk about the book itself. In Little Brother, the prequel, Marcus Yallow has been caught in the wrong place at the wrong time and gets tangled with the Department of Homeland Security sort of just by being stubborn and refusing to let them into his phone. And then things gain their own momentum and spiral out of control from there. In Homeland, he's having to deal with being kind of famous/infamous from all these things that happened in Little Brother. And an old friend, perhaps we can say, has given him a treasure trove of government secrets. So instead of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, he has a choice to make about what he wants to do with these secrets, how and if he wants to release them, and what it means to respond to some of these facts and revelations in a way that matches his ethical code. Some of the things that are coming up in this story on top of the theme of secrets and ethics, he's got a girlfriend, and they're mostly a dream team working together and having each other's back, but there are some maybe hiccups in their relationship that the story explores, and I thought was really interesting and might be relevant to folks who are interested in what happens after the guy gets the girl. There's also a lot of economic trouble happening in this book. Some of the government secrets that come out in the course of the story relate to these issues, and the economic situation really puts things in a pressure cooker. So at the very beginning of the story, Marcus is looking for work and has been having trouble getting a job. Both of his parents have been unemployed for a while. And that's definitely a mood that I think a lot of us can relate to after 2008 in general, and more recently for sure. So it's interesting to see other characters dealing with those things, finding ways to cope, finding creative solutions. The characters, as ever and always in a Corey Doctorow story, are scrappy, ragtag hackers. They're very smart and they're very diverse. And we also get to see some of them responding in new ways to the situation at hand. Time has passed, so that means that characters who were not available in Little Brother are back in action now, and they have opinions and they have things they want to do. And a lot of them are dealing with trauma for things that happened in Little Brother. One of the most important pieces of Homeland, and one of my favorites, is this segment that has a couple different protests in it. And there are drones in these protests. Some of them are police drones. Some of them are drones that are being piloted by Marcus Yallow, the protagonist, and some of his makerspace friends. And I thought it was really interesting, the play between watching the crowd and being in the crowd and transmitting information and having your own information being transmitted. And I also think that Corey Doctorow has put in some very useful, interesting information about what it's like to be in a protest, how to be at a protest safely. And it's all part of the narrative, so it's all interesting, but it is relevant to the world we live in now as well. And I think that's definitely Corey Doctorow's vibe. If you read any of his other books, he really cares about surveillance technology, who has control over it and who doesn't. He cares about protesting. He cares about the 1% and the 99%. He cares about people rising up and having control over their own information, people making the things they need themselves. So if these are themes that are interesting to you, Corey Doctorow has a bunch of different books. I think they're all worth checking out. This is a realistic story. It's also sort of a dystopian story. So if you had to read 1984 and felt okay about it but wanted to learn more about those themes, this book would probably be a lot more exciting to you. It's also relevant to stories like The Hunger Games and Divergent, I think, was the one that was a big deal a while ago. So it's teenagers who are fighting against the real stuff, the big stuff, in a way that I think is really relatable. As I said in my review of Little Brother, Marcus Yallow is such a treat because he's a punk. He's very much a teenage boy, which means he can be very like overblown and arrogant and also kind of dumb, and he's really smart and he's doing his best to try to make the world a better place and feel good about his place in it. So I enjoyed this book. I hope you'll check it out. And I'll also say my review for Little Brother came with a big trigger warning. I think that Homeland has some pretty intense stuff as well, but it's actually a lot less intense. So if some of those things put you off of Little Brother and you think that maybe not for you, you might skip it and go right to Homeland, because I felt like it was a little bit gentler in its subject matter. So if you decide to read one or both of these books, get in touch with us and let us know what you think. We're on Instagram. You can email us. I will put that link in our description, and we would love to hear from you.